welcome to Mallory's World. Hi, I'm Mallory. If you're new here, please subscribe so you can stick around for some more fun. It is currently April 3rd. Yesterday was April 2nd, which is what most people refer to as autism, like worldwide, like Autism Awareness Day. But I may have mentioned this in another video, that some people, and I've seen this mostly with those on the spectrum, they now refer to it as Autism Acceptance Day as opposed to awareness. And I'm going to talk about a hot topic that I honestly didn't know was a hot topic. It's on my phone, something that I wrote. Let's see here. So, okay, if you follow me anywhere on social media, you will see I posted a lot of stuff yesterday on like Twitter. I have some really good tweets, I think, that I hope get recognition. Some have been noticed. I'll get to that in a little bit. And I post on like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. If you do follow my like Facebook page from my YouTube channel, you'll have seen some of the videos probably already before this that I posted on there, but I'm gonna maybe tomorrow, or today rather I should say, the 3rd, work on like editing them and just making them a little bit better, and then I'm going to post them onto this channel. But in case you follow me elsewhere, you may have seen snippets of things. And sorry, I have makeup behind my nails, it's gross. But what I wanted to talk about was kind of like, I just had an epiphany while I was upstairs, like once the weather calmed down. It was like crazy. Like at first I felt like the house was shaking, then it sounded like things were being like thrown at the house. So I saw on Facebook that someone said there was like hail, like big hail. And I'm like, that would explain all that weird noise. And then the shaking was from like the thunder, and then there was wild ass lightning, and I don't like any of that. So my mom texted me saying that I woke her up, so she and I would then watch an episode of Big Bang. Then when the weather had like, I think it's still raining, but it's not like thunder and lightning and all that wild like it was before. But then at some point in the evening it's gonna start snowing, and here I'm digressing from what I came to talk about. It was not the weather, it was about autism and yesterday and my thoughts and feelings and stuff. So anyways, yeah, so for years, and my mom always like support Autism Speaks. That's the hot topic. There's, as far as I know, there's Autism Speaks, there's Autism New Jersey, and I know that I live in New Jersey. There's the Autism Society. I'm sure there's like a gazillion other major, minor, if you will, organizations, whether they're for profit or not, that give back to the autism community, that help out people on the autism spectrum. So, I mean, whoever you're for, whatever you want, like, I'm down with that. But that's just kind of the avenue I do. So I do Light It Up Blue, and I make signs. Again, like, you follow me on Periscope, you would have heard about this story. Like, but I do a lot to really raise awareness, because I feel like there needs to be awareness. Yes, a lot of people today are very familiar with the word autism, but do they fully know what it means and understand? That I don't know, but I feel like there needs to be, and again, just like in a video, awareness on the fact that females can be diagnosed on the spectrum, that adults, like, you don't grow out of or get over autism or Asperger's, and the funding and the supports or the lack thereof for when you graduate high school. Let's bring attention to that. Also, lately, alright, so this person actually is interesting, because I like to hear people's point of views that are like my peers, like, and by peers I don't mean just people around my age, I mean like anyone on the spectrum that could be like even a little kid, but I don't know if a little kid would be on Facebook. Like teens, like all the way up to your 40s. So I don't care how old you are. If you're on the spectrum, I'm interested in what you have to say in the matter. And even if you're not, it also intrigues me to hear what like the parents and moms, and especially because they're more vocal on Facebook, you know, what they have to say about everything. I am in a lot of groups and like a lot of pages on Facebook that have to do with autism and Asperger's, just for my own personal benefit of like learning things, and also for a little bit of promotion, not for me but for an organization that I work with that is trying to help those with autism spectrum disorders and other special needs. So whenever there's anything I can pass along to other moms and families out there, that's what I like to try to do. So in one of these groups, which is mostly for parents, even though there are some other people that are on the spectrum that aren't parents in the group, she posted a question saying, what the heck? Would you cure your child's autism? And like, I would not like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to my mind, like, I think every parent would, but apparently not. And it got me thinking again, kind of about what I posted on Instagram, and then I copied and pasted, but then added to it, which I'm going to read to you in a minute. So keep looking down at my phone because that's where I'll be reading it from. And it's like, because one person made a comment like, oh, I wouldn't change my son or my daughter, like, why would I change her, like, that she wouldn't be who she is or whatever. And is that like a smoke detector beeping thingy? Do y'all hear that? It's irritating. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. But it got me thinking, and then I'm like, you know what? Because like my top 3 topics of choice is women, lack of funding, and like adults in general. So with all that being said, I'm thinking, well, now I want to talk about like, about like if autism were to change, or if there were to be a cure one day, or like what is that? Sorry. Just like a whole slew of things, and I wrote stuff, and to response to this woman being like, so as someone on the spectrum, this is my point of view, and 2 people commented saying like, fantastic, or like, I don't know, what did they say? I don't know. Let's see. Someone said, well stated, right? And then this other person said, excellent explanation, Mallory. To which then I both thanked them. And a lot of people kind of liked my comment. I'm not trying to be braggadocious here, but I just wanted to share my thoughts, which you're probably like, yes, it already. And then I'm curious to see what y'all have to say, I think. So since I initially started this out on Instagram, which if you want to see and reread some of this for yourself, you can, on Instagram, on one of my latest posts. And then if you follow my advice column on Facebook, I also posted it there, if you want like the whole new fuller version, which I'm about to read to you right now. And so I started out with some relevant hashtags, so hashtag light it up blue for autism, hashtag autism awareness, hashtag autism awareness day, and just hashtag autism, because that gets a lot of people's attention. So then I wrote, I know a lot of high functioning people on the spectrum who don't want to be, in quotes, cured. That's fine, to each their own. However, I don't think it's right to stop anyone from getting help. If one day they find a cure for autism, it should be an option for people. No one on the spectrum or not should take that right away from anyone. I myself struggle so much on a daily basis, and it's exhausting. If someone could take away what I like to call the side effects of Asperger's, I'd do it in a heartbeat. That's my personal stance on the matter. there are many organizations out there that choose for us to choose to support. And I lost my spot. Oh, we all don't have to like the same one, and that's okay. That's what I wrote on Instagram. But then I went on Facebook and went on further to say, I said, sometimes I wonder what life would be like without Asperger's. Would I still be me? And the answer to that is yes. Asperger's is just a part of me. Weather, which I could have spelled that wrong, like weather, like hot, cold weather, it's snowy weather, not like whether you like that or not. My bad. Whether I was Asperger or not, I'd still be who I am. Well, yes, you could say I will change. I'll be more happy and less anxious. All my problems would go away and I'd live a happy, fulfilled life. One thing I do understand is Aspies hate change. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Change is change, and we don't like that. So on that note, I could see why people on the spectrum wouldn't want to change themselves, but a life without suffering is a dream I've longed for. And just kind of go on that a little. A lot of my problems go hand in hand, like depression, anxiety. They're like a cycle. And then anxiety, my sleep disorder. There's just so much crap that's just like, I've had it. Like, you know, people like get fed up with something and it's like, I've had it up to here. Like, I've had it up to here for who knows how long. Like, I just want to, like, some days with Asperger's and the autism spectrum disorder, I just want to like strangle it and be like, F you, like, you're ruining my life. But then sometimes I do think it is a blessing. It's not a total, I mean, there's so many good things you could say about it. So that's kind of why in a perfect world I'd still be an Aspie, but I wouldn't have the extra-ish that goes along with it. Like, give me my meat, but don't give me my potatoes and peas. You can keep that. In fact, I don't even really like meat, so like keep the steak and just give me the mashed potatoes and peas. But yeah, so it just got me thinking. And then you know, and then I wrote in this group thing, and then to quote, because I have conversations on this topic a lot with my mom, and she's like, you'd still be you. People would still be themselves. They'll say, oh, I'll change. I'll be different. Why would I change my child? Like, she wouldn't be who she is. Well, your personality is your personality, and nature, nurture, however you want to go on it. But I feel like I am who I am, and maybe Asperger's has a slight part of it, but the vast majority of who I am is just me. It's my personality. It's who I am. It's how I was made, how I was raised, whatever you know, it is who I am who I am. And if I was a neurotypical, let's say, someone who isn't on the spectrum, I think I'd still be pretty darn funny. Who knows? I may have gone away to college. I may have more successful romantic relationships. Maybe I'd be really involved with someone right now. I don't know, and I'm not saying I'm not because of Asperger's. You can clearly be on the autism spectrum and be in a wonderful, happy, fulfilled relationship, whether that's with somebody else on the spectrum or not. It's just a little bit harder for some of us to find love or to find someone who can stick around for the long haul, because it is kind of complicated, confusing, and tricky. And I feel like I can say those things about autism and Asperger's because many a time I find myself scratching my own head wondering, what the hell was that, or why am I feeling this way? And I think of my mother who gave birth to me and raised me, you know, all those years, still helping me out. If she even finds me puzzling, then obviously someone who doesn't know me that well might find me for sure puzzling. And if I find myself puzzling, then I don't question anyone who's kind of like, what is with me? Because sometimes I ask myself that. Not everything is so cut and clear. It's not all black and white. Although my brain and the way I think is very black and white, but I feel like the autism spectrum disorder does have gray areas. Again, this is all like my own personal thoughts, opinions, and feeling. And because it is April, so it is Autism Awareness Month, or if you want to call it Acceptance Month, that's fine. I lit it up blue. Some people light up red, gold. I read somewhere on Facebook that someone says it changes and just go with what feels right to you, and they did pink, and someone's like, oh, that's a great idea, it's my daughter's favorite color. So it's kind of cool seeing other people talk about like females, because usually more boys on the spectrum. And then someone said like rainbow, and it got me thinking, I have this party light bulb which I should put outside one year and just have it slowly change colors and be like, spectrum, rainbows kind of go hand in hand. But there are people out there that, I don't know, are very set in their ways, I guess you could say, and it's like they like something or they don't want to be labeled anything, and that's understandable. I don't walk around with like a giant A on my chest being like, oh, I have Asperger's. Like, a lot of people I've talked to, they'd be like, I would have no clue unless you told me. Like, they wouldn't, I don't like, doesn't seep out of me like I'm a weirdo. I'm not saying everyone on the spectrum is a weirdo. That's just what I've told myself for how many years, until I finally realized, oh, I'm just an Aspie, so I do things a little different, maybe backwards. But that doesn't mean there's anything really wrong with me. When my whole childhood, I just thought there was something wrong with me. And that's when no one wanted to be my friend. And this video is getting very, very long, and I could go on for hours and days and forever and ever and ever and ever about this topic. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to leave those down below. And don't forget to check the description box so you can find my social media links. So feel free to come say hey, and don't forget to like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. And as always, till next time, keep it quirky.